Hello and welcome, my fellow operatives. My name is Taylor. Today, we are here to celebrate the Nemesis James Taylor's win at Money in the Bank. That's right. Hey, Charlotte. How's it going, Charlotte? You doing all right? Miss Flair? Yeah, I won Money in the Bank. What do you think?
I bet Renee is having a field day with your latest victory.
Okay, she doesn't really sound like that at all. If only there was a female in the office to record her voice. But anyways, let's talk to Mr. Todd. Todd, my man, Vince called me to his office to talk one-on-one. Must have gone all right since you're still alive. In a word, he's not happy about the fact, but you are Money in the Bank, Mr. Money in the Bank, and you need to be featured on the show. Well, why in the hell would he not be happy? I busted my ass out there and won. So go out there and do you. You know what? This is for my fans. Because tonight is my night. Tonight is all about me and my victory. Yes, sir, it is. Go on now. I gotta score 100 on this promo, and he just looks so, like, distraught about it. He's like, oh my god, why? So, my fellow operatives, welcome to episode 15. This is 2 nights after Money in the Bank pay-per-view. The Nemesis is going to address the WWE Universe and his fellow operatives on the fact that he won Money in the Bank and that a future championship opportunity is in his sights. So, let's see what happens. Alright, I'm sorry about that. I just wanted to hear that music. The music's awesome. I hope y'all agreed. The nice opening theme for SmackDown Live here in WWE 2K18 for the Nemesis James Taylor, my career mode that is. So Mr. Money in the Bank is on his way to the ring. Let's see what he has to say.
He is not messing around here.
He's not going to keep us waiting, so let's find out.
So unless you didn't notice, somebody back there doesn't like me. That's why I keep getting screwed over repeatedly this month. All I wanted was to focus on my matches, pin my hopes on Money in the Bank, and leave it at that. But man, all this political childish I had to put up with is complete bullcrap. WWE Universe, you have to know this. It's only your support from the very beginning to now that got me here. I mean that. I never wanted to do this alone. Could I have? Maybe. But to me, it wouldn't mean anything to arrive at this moment in time, at this position in space, by myself. That's too lonely of a fare for me. I wouldn't have been able to do it without none of you. With the big smile on his face. It's only your support from the very beginning to now that got me here. I mean that. I never wanted to do this alone. Could I have? Maybe. But to me it wouldn't mean anything to arrive at this moment in time in this position in space by myself. That's too... I just said that. Why am I saying that again? It's because of the option that I picked. Let's pick a different one. Apologize about that, folks. James thinking really, really hard. Wait, what? Surprise, surprise. I want to dedicate this great success to you. Since I skipped it, I need you to understand that I'm just going to go ahead and say this flat out. I am Mr. Money in the Bank and the WWE Champion, Mr. AJ Styles. I want you to keep an eye out for me because I might cash in tonight. I might cash in at SummerSlam. I might cash in next year at WrestleMania. But when I do, that belt is coming around the waist of the Nemesis James Taylor. So AJ Styles, just take my advice. I'm coming for you, so get ready to get hurt. Well, Mr. Money in the Bank, the Nemesis James Taylor, laying it all out there in front of the world in the WWE Universe, and Mr. Todd looks like he's a little concerned. Why? Now why? That was a sight to see. Enjoy the festivities. Phew, son, you may be Mr. Money in the Bank, but you made some powerful enemies tonight. Oh, well, I know what I'm doing. One day I'll make it up to him. I know what I'm doing. Hey, I know what I'm doing here. This isn't even a thing. Don't know about that. This will have ripple effects, difficult to foresee. All things are connected, my friend. Screwing over one person isn't something that happens in a vacuum. They have connections, so yeah, we'll see what happens. If anything, were I you, I'd brace myself in any event. Just in case you understand. We'll see you. Well, for a little FYI, a little spoiler alert for this episode only. See this guy? His name is Mr. Primo Colon. You didn't hear this from me, but I hear management has been looking for a superstar to give favor to. If you want to rise up the ranks faster, do whatever it takes. Well, I said my little promo, and it is the month of July. This is the, I think, Battleground pay-per-view coming up. Hey, it's my favorite, Miss Becky Lynch. Mrs. Lynch. Not Mrs., but Miss Lynch. This whole month was against you, but you pulled out one. Kudos and stuff. Well, wasn't she just nice and dandy to me, to the Nemesis? Well, anyways, so this being the Battleground month pay-per-view, the month of July, nothing super big is happening except for the fact that I do have Money in the Bank. But I accept a side quest you're about to see. And because of this side quest, it ended up having me put in 3 separate matches that were absolutely horrendously long. So I shortened them for your sake at home and gave you highlights for each one of those matches. 2 in the which are against Jason Jordan and 1 against Zack Ryder at the pay-per-view. And these matches aren't just normal matches. It's not the fact that I couldn't beat them. It was the fact that they are submission matches. And at this point in my career, I did not have submission specialist or anything like that to make my character stronger in that aspect. So I just had a hell of a time doing it. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about that for right now. That's what this episode is going to be. This is kind of like a fill-in before it starts getting really, really, really good. So I apologize if this disappoints you, but if you still want to continue following me for this episode, just keep watching so you can see what James is going to be going through. So Mr. Hideo Itami is the side quest that you accept when you do 2K18 My Career Mode side quest. If you do 20 side quests in 2K18 My Career, you get a trophy on PlayStation 4 or achievement, I'm sure, on Xbox One. I don't care about that, but beside the point, you get an achievement / trophy. Well, that's what I'm going for, so I decided, well, it's the month of July, nothing big, and I decided to go ahead and accept the side request, or side quest. And he wants me to win by submission every one of my matches, for 3 matches, for 3 straight weeks. So I have an opponent each week. The funny thing was, it was Jason Jordan twice and Zack Ryder twice. Of all people, those 2, don't know why, don't care, but it's all good. I can understand Jason Jordan for one because he's Kurt Angle's son, and Kurt Angle is a submissionist, and yeah. So we're going to go ahead and show you these highlights. I'm going to go ahead and let you see them and see if y'all like the highlights at home, because these were epic matches I had. But it was just too long to put on video for y'all. So I'm going to show you the first one. This is the first part. You will see entrances, and enjoy.
The Nemesis program is now activated. There will be no survivors.
I've been looking for my next mistake. Did every other little chance I take. I've left my mark everywhere I've been. I think it's time for me to come back down. I think it's time for me to stand my ground. I don't know where I should begin. I hope it's not too late. Just need you to show me now that there was never really any way out. I've been taking like a time bomb. Every move I made was wrong. I hope it's not too. I'm the next generation of great. The next generation of great. Let's go. I've been building up just to break them down. Got them looking like, wow, who the greatest now? Got the royalty running in my veins. Since I came in the game, never been the same. Take the I can tell you, James Jordan possesses a long physical power. Gotta raise it up. The next generation, toast raise a cup.
And on top of that, this match will undoubtedly have a big impact on where these guys stand in the next WWE.com power rankings. And there's been so much upward movement from new faces over the past few weeks that dropping more than 10 spots following the loss isn't necessarily out of the question.
The next generation of great, let's go. I tell them bring it on, try to get the gold, but they must have forgot that I never fold. Fresh face, stay current, yeah, never old.
Okay, so here we are. Those were some awesome entrances. Jason Jordan, he's a hell of an athlete, that's for sure. So the Nemesis is having to learn some technique. He's having to step his game up and learn some new ways to present himself in the ring. And you know what? If you didn't accept a side quest like this, you would never learn later in life. You know, you would never learn later in your career. And I think having these submission matches, what I learned is the fact that it kind of makes the match a little bit more fun because you have different options of winning, of course. I mean, everybody knows you pinfall, submission, stuff like that. But just the submission in general, they have all types of new moves in this game compared to 2K17 and 16 and in the past. So let's see what happens. This is some of the highlights. One of my favorite highlights of this first match was this whole first part, because this was nothing but a whole bunch of chain wrestling between James Taylor and Jason Jordan. It was back and forth, and it was just going so smoothly, and I just thought it was awesome. So that's why I wanted to put it on here. First part of the match, real epic. And I kind of squeezed the first two matches between James and Jason Jordan together, so it's going to be like one giant highlight, you know, match when it's actually you have two matches, and of course seeing the end on who won. So let's just get on with it. All right, so we had some chain wrestling going on right there. Now James is giving a couple of elbows, going against the ropes, showing that intensity that he has, that he brings to the ring. Going for Jason
he's in
Jordan,
trouble here.
wanting him to get up.
I don't think he should get up.
And he's going for a
Jason Jordan now on the
double
defensive.
axe handle to
These
the
two
back
guys
of the
know
head.
This was going to be an all-out battle. Well, he had to expect to take some
Only
punishment
way
tonight. You
for
don't
James
step
to
in the
win
ring with
this
guy and
match
walk away completely
is by a
unscathed.
submission.
Yeah, but if you count him out now, guys, you'd be making a very
That
big
nice little
mistake.
two-piece
Mark
combo
my words.
that the Nemesis likes to do, going for a pinfall early.
Looking to catch him off guard.
And oh yes, and this first part of the, see, here's where the highlights are going. The first part of this first match was actually just a normal match where I could pin, but I wanted to experiment and see what options James had for submissions. So I went ahead and started doing submissions. This is a nice little anaconda lock, anaconda vice thing going on. He's got busted Jason Jordan,
Nice, but he clearly has
busting
next to
him
nothing
open.
left to
He's
give
bleeding.
here. Just making his presence felt there.
Oh, went for the clothesline. And Jason Jordan
He's simply
reversing.
reminding him that he's
James
here.
tried to get away,
Oh, he turns
but
it
to
around.
no avail.
Showing very few signs of life here.
Yeah, there's no way he
Dragging
comes
him
back
in the
from
middle of
this.
the ring.
Might as well ring the bell now.
This might be the end of the road for him, Byron.
Well, if he can't get back to his
Trying to
feet,
get that
you're
WWE
absolutely
Universe
right.
behind him. And a Luthez press. Piston-like right hands from James Taylor. And James has been thinking about this. He was trying to think about what he wanted to do. He started working on that neck and that head of Mr. Jordan, Kurt Angle's son. And James had no problem showing disrespect to the Olympian son,
Easier said than done.
but he did it anyways
And a savage clothesline.
because he really just didn't give a rat's ass. So this next part,
There may be no coming back from this.
James started working on that head some
incredible
more. Started being real dirty about it too. Taunting the crowd,
This could be it for him, guys.
getting them behind.
He's on Dream Street.
He's too quick for him there.
And now Jason Jordan reversing.
Jason Jordan. Oh, so athletic.
And he did the Olympic slam,
Jordan's gonna be
the
our
angle
winner.
slam, actually, just like his daddy. This was awesome. James kicked out. No high resilience, nothing, just kicked out because that's the instinct that he has. A little bit later on in the match, it was still going. They couldn't keep each other down.
I really can't believe
Nemesis went ahead and went for that anaconda vice again.
Locked in, the crossface.
Few superstars are as
It's like a
dominant
crossface
as this guy.
maneuver. You can see Jason Jordan busted wide open, but he managed to kick out. He managed to get away from it, break the lock,
Wow, part of me thought he was going to tap.
attack James in the face, and then watch what
And
happens.
there's the counter. Oh, no, a counter.
James slamming his face down on the mat. And now he's just asking for him to get up. Referee can't do nothing but watch and wait.
Oh, what a spine buster.
Spine on the
No way
pine.
Jason Jordan can rebound from this. That one was even more impressive than the first time we saw it.
Working on that neck. Slamming that head in the mat.
Gonna be tough for him to fight back from this.
Well, the first thing he needs to do is get back to his feet, which is clearly easier said than done.
So he did it one more time. Spin around DDT. Working on that neck.
This has been a battle.
Just going. And just like Michael Cole said, it's been a battle. And it has. As you can see, the life bar
There's
for
him right
both
where
of
he
them.
wants him.
Stamina meter, both in purple.
Lands this,
And
and he
James
is done.
finally
Jason Jordan being
goes for a sleeper hold.
Sleeper. Is he going to pass out?
He kept
Back
trying
and
and
forth
trying
we
and
go.
trying. And for every single time went for a
Oh, and he
submission,
releases the hold.
could
Wow,
not
part of me thought that was
put
it
him
for
out. He tried everything he could think
Here it
of.
comes. He's got him.
And then
I think we know what this is.
went for the whiplash.
Nicely executed.
Can he finish him off here?
And he hit it. Then he went for a Boston Crab, and
he
watch
locks in the
this.
Boston Crab.
And he quit.
He's just about there.
tapped out.
Here is your winner, James Taylor.
That's a big win. Although there was a moment there where I thought it was going to go the other way. There's no way around it. When you walk into some leadership, we all knew the situation was going to explode. I've been looking for the next mistake. In every other little chance I take, I've left my mark everywhere I've been. I think it's time for me to come back down. I think it's time for me to stand my ground. I don't know.
James decided that he was so frustrated. He does what he does best. He wouldn't be called the Nemesis if he didn't do this, but he's making the WWE locker room notice that he's here to take out all Stars members, all superstars, WWE superstars. And this was his message to everybody in the back, right there, making a statement. He's not going to lay down for nobody. He's here to destroy all, even if he has money in the bank. So after all that, he took out Jason Jordan, and now his next opponent for this little side quest is Mr. Zack Ryder, Mr. Woo Woo Woo. The only thing is, Mr. Woo 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 wasn't woo woo wooing all the way to the bank. He was woo woo wooing his ass on and out of the building. So, Mr. Money in the Bank had to have a submission match twice against Jason Jordan, all that put together, and you're about to see the highlights for Zack Ryder's. I personally think that the Jason Jordan matches were a little bit cooler, but who's to say? We don't know. Let's find out. Not the best performance, but not your worst either. Just keep doing what you do. Shut up, Todd. So James leaves to get ready for the next few weeks. And yes, this is going to be cut real short because this is going to be just highlights of the next few matches. And they're going to be shorter highlights, not big highlights like what those were. Those were big moments of the match, the majority of it. But I decided to show the big highlights of the next few matches rolled into one. Just the big highlights, like the big spots that happened, which is actually really cool. So here's where we're going to start it, right here. So there was a comeback we had, and this was pretty epic. I'm going to go ahead and just let the commentators do the commentary, and you watch what happens.
We know what's coming here. That's it. It's over. Back in the ring again. And one more time. Uh-oh, there's the spine buster. That's what he was looking for.
Go for that whiplash. He wants to hit that whiplash on Zack Ryder so bad he can taste it. Picks him up. Spikes him. Busted him open. And now he realized that Boston Crab was his best submission that he had, so he started using that a lot. And Zack Ryder desperately trying to crawl to the ropes. And he powers out of James. His lock. Then he goes for like a reverse dragon sleeper. Check this part out. Boom! Busted James open, and now when James sees blood, all hell breaks loose. So James is pissed. Slams Zack Ryder's face into the ground. And now he's trying to catch his breath. A little bit later on, they get back into the ring. And then James, out of nowhere, spine on the pine. And look, now he's looking for another whiplash. And does he hit it? Can he hit it? Bam! James taking a break. Can't figure out what he needs to do to beat this man. He won't give up. James isn't really good at holding this submission, so he just tries it again.
Unleashes the Boston Crab. Could be over soon here. Fighting for survival.
And he made him quit. He made him tap out of that one. a huge amount of punishment and the fact that he has a crimson mask on his face right now. So the Nemesis was victorious in both of his matches against Zack Ryder and Jason Jordan. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow operatives, stay tuned for the next episode. I want to thank you so much for stopping by and watching this. We're doing 2 episodes today because we need to go ahead and get these out, and to each and every one of you. James tries to, as you can see, the world champion picture back in 05 up there in the top right corner, let you know Taft Taylor is a world champion. The Nemesis James Taylor on his way to the next episode. We will see you there, guys.